On this episode, we're diving into our Main Street Magic Mailbag for our listener Q&A series. Today's August 8th, 2025. This is episode 796 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts. Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I'm your host, Jeremy Stein, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey guys, make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mainstmagic, and on TikTok at MSM Podcast.
Planning a trip to Disneyland or Walt Disney World can be overwhelming and at times just downright frustrating. But don't worry, because Mouse Dining removes the frustration of booking Disney dining reservations, alerting you when they spot availability for your desired restaurant, date, meal, and time. Visit msmfriends.com to use this free service. Are you ready for your bucket list trip? Our trusted partner, MEI-Travel, will handle the planning so you can focus on the memories. They offer free vacation planning services and have nearly 20 years of experience creating memorable vacations. Visit mainstmagic.com/travel for a fee-free, no-obligation quote today.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. Well, if you are in the Florida area, I hope you are having a wonderful last weekend before school.
Mm-hmm. Most
starts
should
Monday.
be going back Monday, right? I think a lot of the counties in Florida go back,
Yes.
if not maybe all of them. I don't know.
There's a lot of them. All of St. John's and Duval
Yeah.
and Clay and like all of those.
It's got to at least be this Monday or the following, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But
And then-
I mean,
And then colleges are starting up
Yes.
the 16th, the 25th. So anyways,
enjoy your
yeah.
last moments of the kids at home.
we
and
are.
then enjoy the moments when they are gone, which will be nice. It's just nice to have routine. They don't really bother me when they're here,
Yeah.
obviously, but I've been taking Lacey to and from work. Well, she's been taking herself, of course. I just have to ride with her. But it'll be nice to have routine again.
Okay.
So today, we're going to reach back into the listener mailbag. We haven't done this since May. We like to do this about once a quarter. And we went out on social media. We asked for your listener questions about Disney, Universal, podcasting, pretty much whatever you want. And we're going to go through part of those today, and then we'll go through the rest of them on Tuesday. So you can still go out to social and ask questions. If you go to @MainSTMagic at Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, you can still ask questions, and then we won't record the next one for 2 days. So you got, from the time you hear this, you basically got 48 hours if you want to get some questions in. So go for it. But let's kick it right off. What we're going to do today, we're going to go through some questions we got on Facebook, then a couple on Twitter. So do you want to start with the very first questions, Rhonda, from Stacy?
Yeah. Stacy asked, are there any Disney World resorts you've never stayed at? Yes, Stacy, there are only technically two.
Like if you, I'm talking,
Technically.
I talk properties, because
Yeah.
you really have like Grand Floridian and the Grand Floridian villas, with
Mm-hmm.
DVC. So if we talk properties, what are the only two that we have not yet
Riviera
stayed
and
at?
Grand Floridian. But like, like we've not stayed at Bay Lake Tower, but we've stayed in the
Right.
Contemporary.
Right, correct.
So,
That's one I can see more of a separation a little bit. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But yeah, a lot of the ones I feel like, it's same with going from like, Jumbo to Kandani. I mean, we've stayed in both of those, but yeah, it'd be interesting to try and knock off every individual one that's listed
Yes.
separately, like villas and all. Out of those two, which one do you want to stay at the most?
Riviera.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
And we've been keeping an eye out, especially with some of these killer deals that they're having right now. There's just, nothing's really worked out, but we'll I have a feeling 2026, we got to stay at one of them. I mean, we will. We'll just make it. We'll make sure it happens.
Okay.
However that does.
Sounds good.
Stacy has kind of a part two.
yes, she does. Are there any current Disney World attractions you've never experienced? Well, if this would have been a little bit ago, we'd have said Test Track. But
Mission Space Orange.
oh,
It is the only
yeah.
attraction at Walt Disney World that we have not done.
And I will not do.
Yeah,
You can.
I've
Tina's done
debated. I know I've debated if I'm going to do it. one of these days.
Stacey, I have no desire to, because it is supposed to be, and especially after coming home from Montana, that last flight was pretty rough. I felt like I was on Tower of Terror. I'm not going to lie. I put my hand in front of the seat in front of me on it to brace myself. That's how much we were dropping. So I just, with the G's and whatever they are for Mission Space Orange, I have no desire. So
I don't either, but I just need to do it. And I probably need to do it in the next year or two before I continue to get older. Because I might already be at that point. I don't know. I'm literally trying to think, though, if there's any like attraction as far as what you might consider a show or anything like that. And I believe that Mission Space would be the only one. Because any show, I mean, even if you went to like we just saw Reflections of China. I mean, we had seen that once before,
right.
But, you know.
And I finally saw the American.
American Adventure was one that you had not done up until this past year. But yeah, so it's Mission Space Orange. So I'll have to take one for the team, won't I?
Sure.
All right. We'll see. Maybe actually the time to do it would be with Rob and Tina when we go at the end of this month.
And I will watch.
Yeah, you could
Y'all's
sit out.
Bags or something.
Yeah, we'll see. We might do that one. All right, let's move on to our next question from Dylan. What is that one?
Thoughts on a Main Street Magic Zero Proof crawl or meetup during the cooler months? That'd be amazing.
Yeah, so Dylan and I have actually discussed this a little bit about doing potentially like a Skyliner crawl or a monorail crawl, but focus on zero proof options.
Yeah.
You know, with Walulu open now and that zero proof pina colada, I think a monorail one would be pretty cool. And we know, you know, we have a pretty good lay of the land around those that we could make some recommendations and all. But yes, Dylan, so you and I still need to chat and figure out a plan for that. And we'll figure it out and we'll lay out a plan and we'll invite folks and you can come out and join us. And we'll do a little zero proof crawl. I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
See what we can find that's really good that maybe we haven't found already.
Nice.
All right. Barbara has a question. And then she responded that we actually did an episode very similar to this because she was asking about the water park check-in day, you know, going through, it says summer of 2026. I don't know if that means that I don't think we know yet, the January 1st. I don't know if it's guaranteed you're still going to get that perk or if they're only going to reserve it for summertime next year.
Okay.
But regardless, she was kind of asking about comparing Typhoon and Blizzard Beach. If you missed, and what she did, now she's going to go back and listen to it, she said, if you missed episode 788, we did pretty much a head-to-head comparison of Typhoon and Blizzard. We broke them down. We broke down all the options, you know, based on kind of your family, if you've got kids, what age they are, will kind of depend on, I think, a little bit about which park you might want to go to out of those two. So go back, listen if you did not get a chance to yet, but let's move on to Hannah's question.
Have you ever been to any international Disney parks? If not, which ones would you most like to visit?
We have not.
We have not yet. I say yet, but I would love to visit Paris, of course. And Jeremy's is Tokyo.
Yeah, I want to do Tokyo bad. I think Paris is a little bit more probably of the realistic for us.
Okay.
And we've talked before about going to visit our friends Gary and Claire in Edinburgh, Scotland. And
so
figuring out a stop there on the way back or whatever at Disneyland Paris. So that would probably be an option. But Tokyo, you know, I think is going to definitely take some years and some like real forward thinking and planning and saving.
Okay.
We for some of the things we fly by the seat of our pants and we make it work. You know, like, I mean, 6 months ago, we had Amy book the Disney Destiny for us next year. We really haven't given it any other thought since that. And you even just mentioned like, hey, we should probably pay for that thing. So, but that is such a bigger beast than I think like going, hey, let's go to Tokyo. You know what I mean? So I feel like we can say, hey, let's do something a year from now and we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
We'll figure out a way. If it's a cruise or we're to go back to Disneyland or something. But I think going international, we have to actually put like a plan in place.
Yeah.
And we got to go back and listen to some of our episodes about like how to save and, you know, things that you can do.
Yeah.
And we would literally have to start. I mean, we could technically start it now by just, you know, reserving stuff, even if it was that, you know, every time you go to the store, you buy a Disney gift card or something and you stock it away. And then if a year or two from now we were like, hey, maybe it's time to look at that Disneyland Paris or that Tokyo trip, then you reach in and go, oh, by the way, we have, $1,000 in gift cards or whatever it may be.
Right.
And that's kind of like your start to it. But, yeah, I would guess that would be my thought
first
with
we
doing
have to
it.
get Kaylin graduated from
Yes, we do.
high school, which is crazy. She does that this coming year. So
Yeah. Nothing major other than the Disney Destiny, which is already planned for April 2026.
Which
She'll
is our
graduate in
20-year
May.
anniversary.
Yeah, it's also our 20-year anniversary. So in your parents' 50th.
Yeah.
So it made sense to do something big.
There's a lot in 2026. Kaylin
is.
turns 18.
Yep.
She graduates from
Yep.
high school. We have our 20-year anniversary. My parents have their 50.
Yep.
Ooh.
Free water park on check-in day. I mean, don't forget that one. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
We will definitely continue to take advantage of that. Not for you and I, but when we've been able to take kids. Like when we go to the cabins here in 2 weeks from today, we're doing DVC cabins at Fort Wilderness, which we booked through Amy because, yes, you can book those as cash rooms.
Yes.
And they had an incredible, I believe it was the pass holder rate. It might have been Florida resident. But it was one of those where like, and again, this is why you use a travel advisor.
Yes.
And you use Amy and MEI-Travel because I had looked one day, and I always do a little bit of research first, and then I send stuff to her. And so I had looked, and I found these I can't remember the final price. It was a little over $300 a night for DVC cabin. Excellent.
Yeah.
Within 24 hours, those prices were gone.
Wow.
Like they had booked out or whatever. Then I don't know what happened, but she was able to find that deal again and got it booked for us immediately. So again, that's why, you don't have to sit there and go through all these things and look for all these rates and deals and stuff. That's what she's there for. So you can go to mainstreetmagic.com/travel if you would like there. All right, let's move on to Samantha's question.
She said, what Disney things do you love purely out of nostalgia, even if your kids do not connect with them the same way?
All-Star Resorts. I don't know if the kids connect with them the same way.
Oh.
I love the All-Stars. And every time we go back, I can just pick out a memory from
when they were
going with us and they were younger.
Yeah.
Whether it's the time we stayed at movies during Christmas and Kaylin wore the onesie and we got the Pluto popcorn bucket and went to Meisner's Lounge that used to be over there that is now Enchanted Rose. We overlooked a fairy tale wedding happening. Like I tie all of that together because we were at movies.
Right.
And I can remember being in the Dalmatian section, and that's almost what sparks and triggers the rest of those. Do you have something from your? Because I don't think we've ever really talked about your childhood and going to Disney. Do you have specific memories? It's not like you went as often as our kids, obviously. Have gone, but
I say it all the time when I had Figment and my stuffed animal, and I loved him so much. And we were running to catch the boat, and I was very fearful I was going to drop him and lose him.
Yeah.
So I loved Figment as a child. That's why I don't think I absolutely hate him. Like I don't care for him now,
Right.
But I don't hate him in any way. Like I'd be very sad if he disappeared because I'd be like, oh man, as a child, I love that thing.
Yeah.
So
trying to think of other ones.
They probably don't love Stitch the way we do.
No, they do not. They definitely don't. I like for me too. I think of just some of the classic foods. Like a Mickey pretzel to me is still very just nostalgic. And do I get them because I like them? Sure. Are they a great soft pretzel? No, they're not. You know what I mean? Like, and I do like the plastic cheese, but is it actually really that good? No, it's not.
No, it's not at all.
You get them because it's nostalgic. I think of the same thing of Mickey bars. I know you and I have kind of graduated to Mickey ice cream sandwiches now, but anytime we went with my parents to Disney, it was guaranteed one day we were getting Mickey bars. And that's just something I remember, from when we first started going, then we had kids started going, is things like that. It's hard to talk about nostalgia sometimes for me, because I've still only really been going to Disney for less than half of my life. Went a couple times before I moved here. And then obviously since then, I've been here for 20 years.
Right.
I've done tons of Disney, but I don't really have a ton of stuff from my childhood that I would bring back that's like nostalgic or that I remember specifically. So I think it would have to be It's definitely more in like the past 20 years and things that I just love and bring back like happy emotions or memories. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Alrighty, let's move on to James. He's got a couple questions, and they're actually kind of all the same. So let's just start with the first one, and we'll just move through.
Best on-property restaurant or bar with the largest selection of NA drinks?
Off the top of my head, I believe it could be the Edison.
Yeah.
And
because they not only have zero proof, they have mocktails.
They do.
Too.
They have a collection of both.
Yes.
And this is
the beer.
Yeah, this is the argument. It's not really an argument, but this is what I will say, and I will take it to my grave because this conversation is coming up again with the announcement of Beacon Barrel opening and their menu and all.
Yeah.
Is that non-alcoholic drinks or technically anything without alcohol. I mean, a soda. Is a non-alcoholic drink. Juices,
Correct.
all that stuff.
Correct.
So I really look at zero proof and mocktails.
Right.
So, a mocktail contains 0% alcohol and, tend to be made with fruit juices.
Right.
Disney loves some Simply Lemonade.
Yeah.
They will put Simply Lemonade in everything they can find.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have your zero proof. And those are made with things like zero proof spirits, your non-alcoholic beers, and most of these, well, pretty much all of them for the most part, except for some of the non-alcoholic beers, are going to have less than 0.5% alcohol, which means that a child cannot order them. So in my mind, that's where you split it.
Right.
Personally, for me, I'm looking for the type of drinks that a child cannot order.
Correct. I agree.
Because they have been crafted for the taste of an adult.
Correct.
And kind of an adult who previously liked alcohol, still likes it, but just doesn't want alcohol at that moment.
Right.
So that's where I do appreciate something like the Edison having several zero proof drinks and several mocktails. Because sometimes the things on the mocktails are enjoyable and I like them. But when we look at Beacon Barrel, right?
Yeah.
They have two. They're saying non-alcoholic drinks, which you might as well say we'll put sodas under there, put everything under there, because they're all they're coconut milk driven, both of them.
Okay.
They're sugary, they're geared towards children. I mean, one of them has cookie crumbs in it, comes with a cookie on top, and like some sort of dessert on the side. So if that's not geared towards children,
yeah,
I mean it is.
Yeah.
So I think that's where you look at the separation of those two. We don't see a lot of zero proof on property. More and more are making their way.
Yes.
Most of the monorail resorts, and now coming out of there, you can find the Agave Garden, which is used with Seedlip Garden, I believe, 108 or one of those numbers. And then it tastes a little bit like a margarita. And then they have the London Pink. Yeah, Pink London Spritzer, which is also using a seed lip. And again, these just feel like more crafted type cocktails that you would get if you were drinking something alcoholic. But let's move on to his next one, which is favorite non-alcoholic drink so far.
And I know what you're going to say.
Pina colada, zero proof pina colada at Walulu Bar and Grill it's amazing. And I'm not somebody that loves coconut or pina coladas.
Yeah.
And it is so good.
Yeah.
What would you go with? What are some of your favorite?
Well, recently GO82 is a really good one.
That Manhattan in the morning is very,
really
very good. And again, and I think that's why I'm a little disappointed in Beacon Barrel.
Yeah.
Because they just did this with GO82, which I understand is a 21 and over location only. But you can have the 2 kid sugary drinks at Beacon Barrel, and you could put one thing on there. You could easily do a zero proof margarita.
100%.
It would be. I went into ChatGPT, and in less than a minute, I had a printable menu card with pirates on it, and it looked like a treasure map, and it had 6 zero proof drinks on it, using a variety of different zero proof spirits.
Wow.
So I just wish they do a little bit more of that. But
I agree.
the Heart and Soul is outstanding at the Edison.
Yep. There's one that's almost like what Lucy likes. It's not the Pink London Spritzer, but
one that's more like an Aperol Spritz or something. I try to remember what that was because I found out I do not like those.
I do, and I'm trying to remember where
because we traded.
Yeah, and there's been a couple of them that I've had over across property.
Bourbon Steak? Maybe. Because I ordered one, you ordered the other, and we ended up swapping because I thought it had a little bit of that Aperol.
But that reminded me of the Manhattan in the Morning because that was smaller. Like that one. But I have had one that is very, like, somewhere. I'll have to think about it and try to find it. But I really like that. It may be
the Edison or Haleo has a pretty good selection, but they got rid of the one we love, the White Lotus.
Yes, that was the best one ever.
But we found out it was because Seedlip, the zero proof spirit company, stopped making the one that they used in that.
I know.
So now we haven't been back for a while, and our good friend no longer is there. He's moved to another location. But I wonder if we should poke our head back in and just see if they've come up with anything new, because I want to say we were there very recently after the White Lotus had to be taken off the menu. So I don't know if they had time to replace it. And then, of course, our friend left. So it's not like he would have hit me up and said, hey, by the way, we got something new.
Yeah.
And then finally, he asks, if Disney asked you to create a 100% NA themed bar, what would it be and what would you name it?
You could do the Snuggly Duckling.
Yeah, you really could.
Because, I mean, I don't know what food really you'd have in there, to be 1,000% honest.
I do. I did a theme park shuffle episode, and I designed an entire Snuggly Duckling.
I know we've talked about this, but I mean, when you see the movie, it's ales and stuff anyways.
But look at Gaston's Tavern.
Right. That's where I was going to go.
To be honest, it'd be pretty cool if they converted Gaston's Tavern into a non-alcoholic style tavern where you could have non-alcoholic beers. And if you still don't want people to leave that premise with them, the way that you can't leave with alcoholic drinks in Magic Kingdom, go for it. You know what I mean? But somewhere that you could go in there, I feel like could be really, really useful. And if you could do grab and go, obviously that would do even better. But yeah, I could see Gaston's Tavern doing a conversion or the Snuggly Duckling. I need to go back and listen to that episode because I know I didn't design any zero proof drinks for that menu.
No, you didn't.
And I put together a whole menu of food and drink, I'm pretty sure. So
wow.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what other ones would be good just based on everything else. I mean, it'd be kind of cool. I feel like, where would this go? Maybe like a Disney Springs. If you did a Frozen themed ice bar. That was, great for adults and kids. That was potentially non-alcoholic stuff in there, but concoctions of frozen beverages, things like that. You did one of those in Vegas, right? One of the frozen bar things.
Oh yeah, a long time ago.
What was that like? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I mean, it's very cold in there.
Well, I would assume
you had to wear a jacket.
Do they provide jackets? I know you bought one, but do they provide jackets for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Usually. I can't remember if that was an extra fee though, but then and then you can go and you can have a drink at the bar, and I had a drink, but
we almost went to one in Boston. Remember? We walked past that one and we just decided not to go in because I think they had a crazy cover charge or something. But I think that'd be pretty cool.
It can be expensive, but
yeah. And explain if people don't know, explain what it actually is.
Well, it's a literal ice bar. It is below the degrees of where ice does not melt. And it was a chair of ice. It was a bar, a cup of ice, like a cup, and then they poured the drink in it, and I had to pick it up. And
the drink, wait, the cup was made of ice?
Yeah.
How is there not a Christmas Story tongue to flagpole situation going on?
I don't know.
I feel like your lips would just stick right to the cup.
I don't know. I don't remember, but yeah, funny. That was really cool.
I think that'd be cool, though. I mean, that's something. Geez, talk about something that could make Disney some bucks, man. And you could, I mean, if you wanted, you could make it adults only. And then maybe not have it, I guess, at Disney Springs. I feel like it would have to go possibly in Epcot and Norway or something.
Yeah.
But I think that'd be pretty cool to do.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next one from Derek.
He asked, how did we meet?
Go for it. I know we've told this story before.
Yeah, we have.
I don't know when, but it's come up, I'm sure.
So my childhood best friend, Brittany, maiden name Topham at the time, was she met Jeremy because they Creed board, back in the day when they were boards on the internet.
The bulletin boards.
Oh yeah, and then
you didn't have social media,
and you had dial up.
Yeah. Well, no, not then. We had regular internet. When do you think this was? This was only 20 years ago. You had dial-up.
Yes, I did.
In the year 2000.
Okay, maybe it was sooner than that, but still, I had dial-up when I first had the internet.
Well, yeah, we all did. That was all that was available.
Okay,
you had to have dial-up.
Anyways, I think I still had it when we were talking.
I mean, that is possible, maybe.
But
yeah. We were still using AOL Instant Messenger to communicate often.
But the point is she met him, and I guess they hit it off really well. And then her and her husband at the time was up there visiting, I think, and then met Jeremy in person.
Yeah, they were going to New York, and they stopped in Baltimore on the way and spent a night or so, I think, at my apartment, and we hung out and did some things. But that was the first I met her in person, either one of them, and I'd known them both for probably a couple of years at that point.
Oh, you did?
Only. I believe so. I mean, a year or two, maybe? I don't know.
Okay. All I know is that they knew each other first, and then it was the year 2002, and Brittany asked me what I was doing the day after Christmas. I was like 4 or 5 years old. I don't remember. And
22, 23.
Okay. I was young.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you mean? I don't have any plans. I'm like, whatever. And she was like, well, that guy, Jeremy, remember I've told you about? And I was like, yeah. She said, he's coming to town and I want to show him a good time. You in? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm down. So the rest is history.
Yeah. We hit it off. We did. And it was funny because that night I told an absolute stranger that you were my wife just to get him to go away because he was creepy. And then look at us now, almost 20 years later in April. And things moved. I mean, we met in 2002. I had moved here by 2005. We were married by 2006, and we had our first kid by 2008. So it went pretty quick. And I mean, I picked up everything. And we at the most time we had spent together prior to me moving here, what was like 4 nights, 5 nights or something like that. It might have been a whole week.
It was a whole week because I was
came up
planning
to Baltimore,
to move there.
and then we went to New York for a couple nights, and then came back to Baltimore.
Yep.
And then Rhonda called me crying one night and said, I can't move to Baltimore. I said, okay, I'll move to Florida. And now the rest is history. So worked out pretty well. All right, let's move on to a couple Twitter questions. I'm just never going to call it by the other name because I think it's silly. And we're going to get what might be my favorite question that has ever been asked by our friend Brian, who we met at Riviera that time. What character is most likely to get themselves into a Coldplay level PR situation? If you've been living under a rock, big time CEO was caught in an affair on the big screen at a Coldplay concert. So if you have not seen that, then you live on an island, and I don't know how you're listening to this episode, but oh man, is he saying it could be any? Yeah, I mean, it could be any Disney character. You know who? Hans. That's the type of dude that would have 2 families.
That's
you know what
true.
I mean? He'd have one in Arendelle, and he'd have one back like home, right? And he would tell the one back home, like, hey, I gotta go to Arendelle again for business. Nope, he has a whole other family there.
Yeah.
Which is super impressive. To be honest, anybody who it's wrong, don't ever do it. If you can maintain 2 entire families without them knowing for any length of time, that's really impressive. It's flat out wrong, but it's impressive. You don't think that's impressive?
No.
How can someone handle that? How can you? And then I got to think, either you're the smartest person alive or your 2 families are the dumbest. I feel like it's just, I don't know. I mean, it's easy for people to hide stuff, I mean, I certainly hid, most of my drinking problem for a very long time, but there's no way I just think of keeping track of the lies. Did they have like a book? You'd have to keep like a journal. I'd get like the kids mixed up and stuff. Be awful.
That's funny.
Who do you think would?
I'm trying to think. I don't know. Like,
at the beginning, I don't know about the end of the movie. Cusco is totally that type.
Yeah.
Like he's totally the type, just to have multiple dates to take to different concerts.
I just like to think that everybody, and even though they're not, but everybody's just not like that, but they are, and it's crazy and it's awful. But
Gaston?
Yeah, I was thinking Gaston. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was definitely thinking Gaston.
It's just he always asks the best questions. He usually asks just out of the box questions that I love. We got 2 more that we're going to cover today. One from Skippy Boo on Twitter. And what is that question?
Oh, this will be fun for Jeremy. You get a $500 Lego store gift card plus 10 minutes to grab whatever you want. Supermarket sweep style. What are you grabbing?
First of all, that won't get you a lot at Lego.
It won't. So
I'm
I
heading
feel
straight for Cinderella Castle.
I started to say. I mean, I
It's
started
going
to
to take
say
me 10 minutes.
right. 500 is not much, and the one thing we do want, it's not close to. Well, I mean,
Is it 3 or 400?
It's 3, but it's
okay.
By the time you get the 20% off, I think it's a.
Let's just say it's 3.
I think it's 350.
And I believe am I allowed to spend a little bit of my own money on top of the 500? Because then I'm grabbing Cinderella Castle and then I'm going straight for the recently released Beauty and the Beast Castle.
Okay.
Which I believe is around 200 or so. So with both of those, you could probably get
20%.
about 20% with your AP discount. You could probably get them both for around 500. I believe, and I could be making this up, when you are there, if you're not in AP or something and you do want to save, because Legos for the most part don't go on sale. Like
Correct.
my guess is Lego just controls the pricing and places can't really put them on sale.
Yeah.
Unless they've gotten that approval from Lego. I don't know. If anybody works for Lego, let me know. But anyway, you can get a percentage off. I believe if you just order if you join their free little club, you get 10% off at Lego stores.
Oh, cool.
That's what the guy told me the first time I went and I got it. And then we just happened to be with a friend who got a slightly bigger discount than us, who purchased it for me. So I didn't need that 10%. But we ought to, next time we're up at the town center here, we ought to walk into that Lego store and I could just inquire.
Yeah.
Or the airport. Because you can buy like Cinderella Castle in the airport.
You can?
Lego store. I didn't see Cinderella Castle, but I did. Was this when this is when I went to see my parents back in February. Because I had to go through Charlotte, and there was a Lego store in the Charlotte airport. And again, you think it would be like, oh, let's have some little things a kid can play with on the plane, or Jeremy, like little things we could put together. Put your tray down. Go ahead and put together a Lego set. No, they had the Hocus Pocus house.
Like. Do you think somebody would really do that? What if you drop pieces or like?
My only thought is that it's for international folks who maybe don't have a Lego near them, or if you don't have a Lego near you at home, like, if we didn't have a Lego,
it's online
I don't
now.
know. It's still, I know that. That's why it's so weird to me. But also the same thing though. You have suitcases. Does somebody show up to the airport with just all their clothes in their hand and like, I'll get a suitcase when I get past security? Like, what are they doing? I understand the occasion where something happens, and in a bind, you might need a new suitcase during your travel, but enough to warrant an entire store around it? And are they only ever to me? Like, do they have the market on airports? But I think the same thing about most things that are in an airport. Like,
you're funny.
Okay, why would I get somewhere for the most part and then be like, you know what? Well, actually, I did forget a suit once, so never mind. It does make sense why there's... I left my suit in Florida for my brother's wedding.
Yeah. I was just going to say, like, I enjoyed when I was going to Montana and in the airports because I didn't have time to leave. And what if, like, I found something and was like, oh, that's super cute. I kind of want to get that. Or, I don't know. Like, there's all kinds of different things around.
And I agree. And I enjoy perusing the stores. If you ever fly with me and we have an hour layover somewhere, I'm not going to sit there for an hour. I'm going to walk the airport as many times as I can in an hour.
Correct.
So I do enjoy seeing some of them, but it just shocks me that it would warrant a store. You got to think about what they have to pay for their lease, for their all their overhead. You're telling me they sell enough Legos or suitcases or Brooks Brothers in a day to make up? It blows my mind. One thing I always say is I would love to see different companies, like monthly income sheets or whatever. Some of these places, like some of the places at Disney Springs, I would give anything to, and it's no knock to any store at Disney Springs. I'm just shocked that some of them can make it. I'd love to see at the end of the month, what are you guys clearing?
Yeah.
Apparently Volcom wasn't clearing enough.
Oh, it closed?
Yeah, it closed. It's gone now. So it'd be interesting. Michael Jordan's son couldn't keep it. He had a store there. We never got. I think, actually, I did go in it once.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What would you grab from a Lego store though? The same things?
Yeah.
You wouldn't go any different route?
No. I had to think because there's other things. I mean, like Angel, I would get, but these are like little ones.
But here's the thing I'm thinking now. We're going to buy Cinderella Castle at some point.
Yeah.
We haven't. One, it is expensive. And two, once we put it together, I have no clue where it would go.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm wondering if it would make more sense to take that 500 and get a whole bunch of smaller sets.
No, because again, where are you putting all this crap?
Oh, I'll find a spot for smaller sets. Like for example, and again,
like
this
serious, like because Kaylin's coming
in case
here.
you were wondering, this is hypothetical, so I'm allowed to live my dreams. Here's what I would do. They have this cool set. Not that I'm the hugest Star Wars fan, but they have these really cool set now. I saw today at Target of these like different busts. So like they have a stormtrooper, and I think they had like Kylo, and they've got one of the red stormtroopers, and they had Darth, and they got whatever. All these little basically like Lego busts, a little bit like the Grogu one we saw at Costco. I wonder. I mean, think about it. If those things are running, if those things are running 50 to 70 each, then you're talking about picking up 7, 8, 9 of those maybe instead. Mm-hmm. That would be pretty cool. I wonder how many bags are in the Cinderella Castle because I do one bag.
Wait, did you just say 7, 8, or 9?
7, 8, 9 different smaller sets. I'm saying.
If you're talking almost $80, though, I mean, you're
okay.
Close
If they're
to
arranged from 50, if they're arranged from 50,
you're like 6 to.
I said 50 to 70. Okay, so if you did 50, if they were 50 each, then you could get 10 sets of Legos as opposed to just 1 or 2 big ones. So, tell you what, Skippy Boo, you give me $500 at Lego, and we'll see what really happens. I think that's fair. All right, we have one more. I think is a really good one to end this episode off with from PJ over on Twitter. And what is this one?
If Disney wasn't a part of your life, what hobby would take over? Lord of mercy, I have no idea. I mean, I really don't know. I would think that maybe we would still have a camper and we would just be trying to camp and maybe.
Ooh, that's a good one. I wouldn't think of that. Camping would totally be our hobby. I was going to say something music related. Whether my hobby was just all of a sudden going to as many concerts or you know what I mean? But I like yours a lot.
But camping, we love camping.
I love that idea. Yeah.
And then I would think of like possibly like having the camper and we would be going to state parks. And then the hard part is though, like driving and stuff for us.
We can really only be gone 4 days at a time.
Correct.
Without making major adjustments to our lifestyle and your work and financially.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I could see that first one if all of a sudden it was like, hey, we got to replace Disney. And we would do a podcast about it. I mean, we'd do a podcast about the places that we visit and the restaurants we go to. I would totally do that, like a travel podcast or a camping RV podcast. But I could see doing it within that first year, like, because 4 days at a time, we only hit places throughout Florida.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you probably wouldn't have to hit the same place twice. And you would not get bored because Florida has some gorgeous state parks and, over on the Gulf Coast and stuff would just be amazing. So that's a great answer. Yeah, I was just thinking something music related. And we're starting to go to more concerts now anyway. So you want to go see a concert tomorrow night?
No.
Oh, dang it. It's live.
No.
Collective Soul.
Oh, that's cool though.
And who is one of my favorite live bands of all time, and I am shocked to see him on this tour, is Our Lady Peace.
Are you going?
No. Matt messaged me and he was like, you should go see live. I'm trying to think. I think I saw live. I'll have to ask Matt. I did see live once at Meriwether Post Pavilion, back up in Maryland. And I actually remember them sounding so good live that I thought, well, this is kind of dumb. They could have just played a CD. Like, that's how good they sounded, and they were so in sync, and it was such a studio incredible sound that I was like, well, they could have just put the CD on. But I did see him. And Ed Kowalkitz, I think it's something like that is his name, is one of the best lead singers of all time.
Nice.
You heard it here first.
Okay.
You can hear it on my music podcast when we no longer have Disney as a hobby. So that's coming to you in about 40 years when I physically would not be able to go to Disney. Like, I'd have to be laid up in a hospital to get rid of that hobby, I think. Okay. So, alrighty, y'all. Thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you.
If you ask questions over on Instagram or if you ask some additional questions, basically over the next 2 days on Facebook or Twitter. We'll go ahead and add them to the next episode, what will come out on Tuesday. So if you would like that content, as well as everything coming up, which is going to include our DVC cabin stay at Fort Wilderness, opening of Food and Wine, we'll be there for that.
Goodness.
We've got a stay at the Poly Tower coming up in September,
Woo-hoo.
Halloween Horror Nights, all kinds of good stuff. We're figuring out our Mickey's Not So Scary and some Jollywood and Thanksgiving and all that. So hit subscribe and you get the brand new episodes every single Tuesday and Friday. Then finally, as long as you're out there, both Rhonda and I would be very, very thankful if you could please leave us a rating and review.
Because it helps our show grow.
That's all we've got, and we'll see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts. Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.